Okay, so the second thing I don't agree with is, I feel like this is a bit controversial, but I think this is really common and kind of a cultural norm even, about this belief I'm about to share. And I think it is, again, amongst Asian cultures, but I could be wrong. It might be just older generations, I don't know. But second belief I don't agree with. They believe that the whole point of having kids is so then someone can take care of them when they're older. And I've gotten bashed from my parents and my cousins, like, who kind of grew up in that society, for not believing that. And here, let me explain my thoughts of it. So I don't believe it's necessarily a bad thing that a child believes that they should take care of their parents. But the only problem I have is the fact that immigrant parents don't see it as a choice. I believe there should be that choice. I believe there's nothing wrong with, like, taking care of your parent and not just leaving them if you care about them and you have a good relationship with them. Like, yeah, absolutely. Like, when they're older and you want to repay them, you want to show that you care and you have a good relationship with, yeah, absolutely. Take care of them, give them money, like, invest in them. Even when my dad was, like, in Canada and his family was still back home, even with that, like, he was giving them $400 a month, that's his way of caring, even if he's not physically there. So, like, yeah, like, do what you can, for sure. But the only thing is, you should have that choice, and you should feel that you have that choice, because otherwise you're operating, again, it's out of fear, and it's a big burden to be like, I need to, and this is my duty as their child, it's such a burden. It's like, at the end of the day, they chose to have you, and at the end of the day, they're more than capable of maintaining a healthy lifestyle for themselves as long as possible. And once they can't, it is a choice, It's a choice if you want to take care of them, and there's always better ways to do things. And yeah, it's just like, it's really shocking to me that parents just see kids as their retirement plans. Because, like, have you started saving for your retirement account? Have you started, like investing towards your future? Have you started, like, exercising more, like, muscle training, so that when you're older, you can be, like, 80 and still walk pretty well? Because your muscles are nice and strong. So they just kind of completely dismiss the fact that they have to take care of themselves, okay? And then, yeah, I just don't like the idea of that, because I actually questioned them when I told them about this. I'm like, so then the whole time was I even a person to you, if, like, you completely, like, hate me and you'll bash me, like my mom, like, not my dad as much, but my mom, she's like, she's like, oh my God, you have no heart, like, how could you say this? But I'm like, no, because I'm not an object for you guys, like, I'm my own human being and my own person, and it's really dehumanizing for you to say you have no choice. I brought you into this world just to do this one thing, and if you don't, you're a failure and you have no heart. It's like, again, it's expectation kind of seeping in, okay? It seeps into everything, literally everything. And she just bashed me for it and stuff like that. And then my dad also said something a little bit shocking. He's like, so then why do I save up for your or for your school? Like, they're my education, right? They've been saving, like, an account since I was, like, a kid, like a year old, literally. Because they think education is life and future. It's not. Knowledge is definitely power, but, like, it's not all that there is. It's your emotional intelligence and how you want to do life. So, yeah, and I just got really bashed for it, because I believe it should be a choice, and I believe you shouldn't look at kids that way, and you should see them as human beings. That's literally it. Human beings that have choice, that have their own personality, that have their own goals in life. And yeah, and if you keep a good relationship with me, right now you're not. Right now you're dismissing me quite a bit for who I am, then yeah, like, and I told my cousin, I'm like, oh, it's not our job to make we're not responsible for our parents' happiness. And she's like, you are, oh my God, I can't believe you're saying this stuff. Like, are you really that smart anymore? And she's like, I can't believe I'm hearing this from you. And it's like, seriously, they're grown adults, they've done hard things, right? They can provide for themselves. They came all the way from another country. They can absolutely provide for themselves, and they can, like, you really don't need to be putting this much on your kid, They're a human being as well. And if they want to, they can, and if it suits their personality and lifestyle, they can 100%. But it's not you're not their retirement plan. Get a robot. If you want someone to do things for you and not have feelings of their own, get a robot, you know. But yeah, and like there's obviously nothing wrong with it, like I said, but just there should be that option. And the shocking thing my dad said was like, so then why do I save this much money for your education, and why do I stress the importance of education so much that it's unhealthy? Okay, so much that it makes you see life as miserable, okay, and they tell you how hard life is constantly, okay, and they don't nourish you for who you are. And so why do I do all that? And I'm like why do I invest into your future that much? And I'm like, because you love me, right? Like you care about me. And he's like, yes, but he's basically saying also because I want you to take care of me. Like, and that's when I question, I'm like, did you guys ever see me as a human? You know, was I ever anybody to you other than something you can use, you know? Like, it's really dehumanizing, and I don't think anyone should live with that burden. You know, it's like you're completely dismissed for who you are in a lot of ways already, okay? Ignore the fact that you're their retirement savings account, and it's very traditional in a lot of cultures. So, ignore that, but along with the fact that you have to, like, there's no choice, you have to, and that's the whole purpose of you coming into this world. It's like so dehumanizing, and we really shouldn't be living that way. We should live fulfilling lives. And you created a human with its own mind, right? And if you wanted someone to just do and not have feelings of their own, then get a robot, buy a robot. They can definitely do that stuff for you. They can cook and clean for you. You can program it to do anything. But yeah, we're not robots. And you should care more about the relationship you're having with your kids. And right now you're not nurturing it that much, you know? So yeah, I can totally understand why. And then my dad just said, I'm like, oh yeah, you should get a robot then if you want someone to take care of you and stuff. And she's like, and then my dad, again, it's kind of related to the other point of like feeling like a somebody, basically the whole reason why they're doing this, the immigrant parent stuff. My dad's like, okay, yeah, it's not so much about how I want to be taken care of in the future and then I have all the concrete things to survive. He's like, it's more emotional. And he said it's more so because I want to know that the work I put in for you mattered, and that I mattered, and that you care about me. And again, that is so unhealthy to think like that, you know? It's like you just feel unfulfilled deep down, you know? And that unfulfillment doesn't have to be your kid that fulfills it for you. That you feel like a somebody, you know? Because my dad, like, his family's pretty distant as well. Like, they didn't have a sense of community or anything like that. So then he came all the way to Canada, and, like, obviously, he was a nobody at first. And, yeah, he just never had the time to develop meaningful connections and stuff, other than with his kids. So, yeah, that one is a little more controversial. I know there's a lot more room for more opinions and more thought, but that's just what I think. And at the end of the day, I think one thing's for sure is that it's a kid. Like, it's a human being, you know? And yeah, and I understand that this is very cultural sometimes. Like, oh, you have kids, so they take care of you when you're older, you know? But it should be a choice, you know? And there's nothing wrong with it. Like, literally nothing wrong with it, you know? But it should be a choice at the end of the day. Because we're a human. We are not a robot. And it stems from the same needs as well, like feeling a sense of importance, feeling a sense of accomplishment, feeling like the work that they gave for you, their sacrifice means something, you know? Again, filling a void with themselves with their kids. So yeah, that's all I have to say. So let me just summarize my point. So, therefore, I just kind of wrote this on my notes for the conclusion. So therefore, a parent operating out of fear and unfulfillment from their own lives and expecting constantly throughout their kids' entire lives and putting that burden of their unfulfillment onto their kids leaves room for the kid not feeling seen, for a lot of mental disorders, for depression, you know, and they feel like there's something wrong with them, especially if they think like me. They think like outside the box, like this is not right, you know. Leads from depression, not feeling seen, by the parent and causes distance and causes a really unhealthy dynamic. And yeah, it's just really unhealthy in a lot of ways. And the kid will outgrow you, because again, they're their own person and find their own path in life. And so like they don't have to stress, pick the right path, you know, like everyone picks their own path that works for them, you know, as long as they have belief in themselves, as long as they know that they won't stop no matter what to get the life they want, they will. The kids always find their path. And as a parent, instead, you should be there to support who they are and their path and their uniqueness. But instead, they don't have the emotional intelligence for that, which is why I want to create this awareness to put out on there. I don't care if this gets that many views, but I just want this awareness to be shown, and for me to share this awareness to others as well. And this all starts with this change all starts with awareness, so that's why I'm explaining this stuff. And whether you're the child or the immigrant parent watching this, or the person with that doesn't relate to this at all but is really interested in this, change can happen. And this mindset we can become aware of, and we can slowly improve on. So yeah, that is my perspective. That was only like 2 points, but I explained it like relatively in depth. It is a little, I'm aware this video is a little all over the place with my thoughts. I'm really not good at keeping thought, because if I think of one thing, I think of like 10 other layers, so it's really hard for me to keep track of one thought. But yeah, I hope you learned something. I hope you gained the awareness for something, and and hope you know that you're not alone if you feel this way. And this is really valid, that a lot of immigrant children feel this way. They feel kind of disconnected from their parents in a way. They feel unseen, like their personality is not nourished in a lot of ways, right? So I want you to know, whoever's watching this, whether they're an immigrant child or something, or anyone, you're not alone. And it all just starts with awareness. And don't be mad at your parents. They genuinely think this is right, you know, just like how we think it's right to like do music, and it is, you know, like that. They just think it's right, and they have no idea the harm of this, and they have no idea that they're doing this, right? And yeah, so it's best to just learn from this, and so then we can take action on it. So yeah, that's my video. Thanks for watching, and remember to go outside. It's really nice out these days. And yeah, bye bye.